Ron Sigley was born and raised in Franklin, Kansas. Dr. Sigley has lived in Pittsburgh for many years and worked as a family doctor in Pittsburgh since 1979. He earned his undergrad degree from Pittsburg State University in 1965, receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry, before earning a Doctor of Medicine in 1969 from KU School of Medicine. He obtained his family practice residency at the Silas B. Hayes Army Hospital in Fort Ord, California, and served as chief resident there from 1974 to 1976. Dr. Sigley has 34 years of combined active and reserve duty service with the U.S. Army Reserves. He is an active member of several charitable organizations, including the Sigma Chi Fraternity at Pittsburg State University, BMO Harris Bank Board of Directors, the Pritchett Trust Committee, and the Skubitz Trust Committee. Dr. Sigley and his wife Susan have 3 grown-up children, Sarah, John, and Anna Maria. Dr. Sigley continues to practice medicine and serve in many roles in the community while simultaneously leading our city government and making Pittsburgh a great place to live. We are grateful for his contribution of time and talents to serve our community. Please give it up for Pittsburgh's Mayor, Dr. Ron Sigley.
Good morning, and welcome to all of you who are here this morning. We welcome friends and family. We welcome my fellow commissioners, the city staff who puts in a lot of time, as well as our city employees who put in a lot of time for this city, and our volunteer advisory boards, to all of you. If we were to, I'm sure that we would be into the hundreds of thousands of hours if we were to ever calculate how much time the people of this community put into our city and its people. It's a beautiful day outside, and it's going to be, according to the bushy-tailed squirrels and the persimmon seeds, it's going to be a long, hard winter. Every persimmon seed I've opened has shown a spoon, which means a bad winter. For your knowledge, a fork means a moderate winter, and a knife means a mild winter. I was told this by a lady who claims to be a witch down in the ozone. Some of our city accomplishments, we started to spruce up Pittsburgh, and it's going quite well. I put a picture, let's go back to Winston. This is I'm going to intersperse this with some history and some other things. This is, I'm a Churchillian historian, and this is Winston Churchill, as you probably all know. How did Winston Churchill start? He started as the mayor of a small township in England. And look what happened to him. Okay. Our Spruce Up Pittsburgh continues. We're in the process of putting together a neighborhood advisory council to sustain that in the future. We've been demolishing buildings in Pittsburgh and homes that are unsafe. We've done almost 60 of them now in the past 2 years. And we have a ways to go. We've got a lot of dangerous, potentially dangerous, old dilapidated buildings as well as homes in the city that we'd like to take care of, period. We've got new street signs going in here and there. Some are still cattywampus, however. And we've brought on a new code enforcement people to help us throughout the city. What we really, this whole effort is to empower citizens to get out there and do something for the city, for themselves. And to take pride in their neighborhoods. I think my next, if I was stick around a lot longer, I'd go after the brick sidewalks. So many brick sidewalks, beautiful brick sidewalks in Pittsburgh, that it would be great if we could get them cleaned off. It would be a real eye catcher for our city. We need to cultivate strong partnerships, and we're in the process of doing that. Now, this is not the way to do a partnership. In 1972, I was in Germany at the time, and in Heidelberg, and I drove overnight to watch the Americans play the Czechs in basketball. I got there in the early hours. You had to park outside the city and take a bus into Munich. And I did that, and the American Czech game was at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I made it into the venue in time, but on the way out, I noticed that people were going in every direction. And that's when the Israeli athletes were all shot up at that time. And I asked the young policeman there what was going on, and all he could say was terrorists, terrorists. And so that's a poignant memory for me, and that was 51 years ago. And look, today we're still in the same boat today. We're still fighting the same type of wars, the wars of hate. Okay, that's my spiel on that. We have a mini golf facility coming online thanks to Joe Leak. Where are you, Joe? There he is over here, who spearheaded this. And we have investments in Lincoln Park with activity facilities increased. We're expecting the opening date to be spring of next year. And a shout out to Notch 8 LLC. If you haven't been to the Abbey at Mount Olive Cemetery, you should go take a look at what Notch 8 has done. They turned it from an old abbey, dilapidated, into a beautiful facility. My grandparents are buried right across the street on the east side, and when I was a kid, little guy, that was like a place to go. It was a scary place, and you walk in, and the door would be left open occasionally. You'd walk inside, scare each other. But it's turned into a really, really nice place. We've been investing in infrastructure. This is what you'll see here. This is the increasing the size of the apron at Municipal Airport so that we can bring in more planes, larger planes, and increase our airport activity. We're very fortunate to have a really good airport in our city to be utilized by folks who have planes and those who fly in to see our city. The East Quincy improvements should be completed by December of this year. It's about probably 2/3 done at the present time. We hope to get it open in mid to late December. We recently received a housing grant of $1.4 million from KHRC, the Kansas Housing Group, and tax credits awarded to two housing offices in Pittsburg, the Smithsonian up on North Broadway, as well as the Sunflower Estates. So we hope to increase housing in the city and be able to bring in more citizens from who say that they can't find housing, at least that kind of housing. Economic growth and financial stability. We have, if you haven't been by the FedEx facility, you'll see that it is quite large. Trucks coming and going constantly. That's been a real boon and a real tax boon to our city too. And we're thankful for that. The median wage growth in Pittsburgh has been 22.5% since 2022. It's the 15th highest in the state. The Heritage Tractor came on board last week with a $7 million improvement, broke ground. They're going to be hiring more folks and putting I think it's a 23,000 square foot facility, repair facility back online. You can't see it from the road because it's back behind the present buildings. The local per capita income has increased by 33.6% from 2016 to 2022. Site Selection magazine, which goes around the country and looks at various cities that could be utilized by industry companies looking for places to set up businesses. We were listed in the top 15% in the United States. So we need to see if we can get that done. We've got people working on that all the time, looking for businesses to come to the city, especially our Chamber of Commerce with Blake back there, and welcoming people to come to town and take a look at us. We've had double-digit sales tax increases in the past 3 years, 12% in 2022, 13% in 2020. I'm sorry, 12% in 2021, 22% in 2022, and we're hoping to see, or we think we're going to see a 7% increase over that this year. far as public safety goes, we passed the public safety tax renewal, and therefore we're able to equip our police officers with body cameras now. We're going to buy in the process of buying a new fire engine. I think our fire engine was something like 30 years old, and literally runs time out. We have other equipment coming on board, command vehicles, and we've got programs, learning programs for our firemen and our police officers. We have shared challenges. We're having some difficulty filling positions in the city. They're just difficult to find people these days, and you all know that because I ride around town all the time and I see signs that say hiring. It's just very difficult. But we're working hard to get that taken care of. The Aquatic Center opened up this year, and we were able to utilize it. And I bring that up because there were many cities in Kansas who were not able to open their aquatic centers. One, the Western Kansas didn't have the water to do it. Number two, there were no lifeguards available. Because of our Y and training and the training of lifeguards and stuff, we were able to man up the lifeguards as well as open our pool to our kids this summer. That's a great place for kids in the summertime, our aquatic center. We continue to have a high demand for homes in the city. We'd like to find people who want to build homes here, affordable homes. We've got homes at the lower spectrum, we've got homes at the higher spectrum, but we don't have homes, individual homes in the middle spectrum. And this is not just our issue, but it's a nationwide issue. It's certainly a statewide issue. And of course, about 2 weeks ago, a large group of people, stakeholders, gathered to discuss the homeless situation. Everybody wants a quick solution on homeless. Well, let me just tell you, there's no quick solution on homeless. I spent the weekend at the Kansas municipalities meeting in Wichita, and every city of our size or larger are having the same problems that we have. Some cities have tried all kinds of things, and it's come to nothing. There is no simple solution, and I'm not even sure there is a solution. And at some point, you don't learn to live with it, you make it better. And that's what we're trying to do with our gathering of all the stakeholders, make it better. As you all probably know, we've recently had a cybersecurity breach in the city. We were very fortunate in that 90%, we were backed up 90%. Our other 10%, unfortunately, was in the process of upgrading its software when it was attacked. So that's the portion that went down. We're in the process of, we have an insurance company because we are insured. We have an insurance company that is working on that to see if we can get that back online. We don't know why it's taking so long, but it is. Maybe our city manager at some point can explain it better than I can. We recently got a $1.5 million grant from KDOT. We're going to improve Joplin and the intersection of Joplin and 4th Street, because we've had numerous accidents in that area, and we want to make that better. And I told somebody the other day we're going to put a roundabout in, but that's not true. After we start, no, it's not going to be a roundabout. And the couple of other issues that we're working with right now, we're going to improve our wastewater management. It's a $50 million project. We're working hard to get the monies to do that, and that's for the future. We have Earl's Engineering working on that for us, and it looks like at some point we'll be able to start that possibly next year. That is looking down the line. Right now, we can be serviced with what we have, but it's not looking towards the future. And we have other people who want to utilize our wastewater management. And that, what's their name out there? The Bacon plant, numerous other facilities. You know that John Deere is coming online. As I said before, they're going to want sewer and water, and numerous other things out there. FedEx is utilizing it. So eventually, we're going to need something larger than what we have now. So as you can see, I need to mention that the Washington School Project is happening. Hopefully, they'll be breaking ground here in the near future. Pittsburgh is a great place to live. We are, even though we have our problems, it's a relatively safe place to live right now. Let's hope we can keep it that way. We have a very good police force. It keeps us safe at night, and during the day. We do have some problems that we're going to have to deal with, but believe me, after talking to a number of mayors and councilmen last week, our problems are manageable. Some of them have totally unmanageable problems. Places like Lawrence, cities of that size, in the Wyandotte area, have problems that are not managed, or presently not manageable, along with their homeless. Western Kansas is virtually devoid of water at the present time. We have all the water we can use, so we're in a safe spot right now. We just need to remember to work with our city, work for our city, make a life and living for our children so much better than they will find in other places. And we can do that. We can do that as a community. So, and before I close, I just want to mention that the Project Warm, who's dear and near to Reverend Chambers' heart, will be October 19th, next week. And we could get out and support Project Warm, so we can give coats and stuff to children. That would be great. And just as a side note, we have 100+ homeless children in the city. And you know, your heart goes out to that kind of thing. If Westinghouse and Lord's Diamond were not feeding them, they would miss a meal a day. They're being fed at school and often in the morning. And if those places didn't step in and help, a lot of those kids wouldn't eat very much at all. So we want to thank them. And they've become somewhat integral in our city. And we hope that all of you become more interested in our city, help us in any way you can. And what else? Oh, the ladies. The picture of the ladies. I want to show you this picture. This is a group of ladies from Jackson, Wyoming. The lady in the center is the mayor. In the late 1880s, Jackson, Wyoming was like Dodge City, Kansas. Dodge City, Kansas was on the Eastern paper said was the wickedest town in the country because there were bawdy houses, there were shootouts on a daily basis, and rustling and everything else. Dodge City was listed. It was the same thing in Jackson, Wyoming. And these 5 women ran for the city council, won, and one in the middle became the mayor. They cleaned, it took them a year, but they cleaned it up. They got it running on a normal basis, with law and order, and they all carried a 6-gun in their purse. Thank you.
That story is going to stick with me all day. I want to thank you all again for joining us today, and we hope that you are feeling encouraged and informed and energized by what you heard. We hope that you have a wonderful week, and please, if you have any questions or concerns, or if you want to just chat with us, we'll be here. But thank you so much for showing up for Pittsburgh. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be with us today. And we will have a recording of today's program available for later this week. So for those who couldn't join in today, let them know it'll be on our social media. But thank you so much again for everyone who joined us today. Have a great week.